Donc Arnaud Moreau, certains d'entre vous l'ont peut-être déjà entendu.
Arnaud Moreau, some of you might have heard him at the beginning of this morning's session. I hope they did. Well, anyway, in case you didn't, Arnaud, I will start with a question to you. What is Ashoka in just a few words? Good morning. Ashoka is an international organization that was created 30 years ago. Its aim is to identify men and women who have invented societal innovations and who want them to grow. We are supporting 3,000 so-called social entrepreneurs. We coined the term 30 years ago throughout the world in some 70 countries. And Ashoka has reached a new step in its development because we're now working on the development of hybrid solutions with conventional companies in order to have more impact for the future. And what about you, Guillaume? You are here to represent Boehringer, but why did you come to Ashoka? What happened? Why did you recommend Boehringer that they should get in touch with Ashoka? Well, it was 4 years ago when Boehringer was celebrating its 125th anniversary. And so they called me to find an NGO in order to set up a partnership in the area of health. It had to be a global partnership that would actually involve Boehringer Ingelheim employees with the underprivileged populations. And so they wanted to involve their employees both north and south. And my job is actually to be a matchmaker. This is how Bill Drayton nicknamed me when I met him, when we worked with Arnaud and Boehringer on this partnership. And as a matchmaker, I first have to understand who Boehringer are. So I spent quite a little bit of time on this, trying to understand who they were, what their values were, what their DNA and culture were, in order to match them with the best possible partner for a sustainable relationship, because as a matchmaker, that's what we do. And then, once I understood this, in my data bank, I had to try and see which NGOs could come in contact with Boehringer, could match their wishes. I had a short list of about 20, and then I came up with Ashoka, and I suggested Ashoka to Boehringer. Why did I do that? Well, because I thought that in Boehringer and Ashoka's DNA, you find the same words. That is entrepreneurship, innovation, community. And Boehringer and Ashoka are present everywhere in the world in the same countries, so it made perfect sense. Boehringer's claim is value through innovation, and of course, innovation is key for Ashoka, as you all know by now. So it was a little bit more complicated than that, actually, in real life. But to make a long story short, that's more or less how it happened. And then the match took place, and it's a sustainable match, and we're happy about it. And that's why we're here this morning. This alliance is called Make More Aid, if the interpreter understood this properly, and so we'll show you a short video. Make More Health, sorry.
Jordi Marti, Spain, inventor of the low-cost blood test.
Inspiration came from my 6-year-old son, who had a phobia of needles, and I wanted to spare him that.
Mia Sutanto, Indonesia, breastfeeding promoter.
We can, for example, give them advice on how to pump their milk and how to keep it afterwards. If it's kept cold enough, it can be used for 3 to 4 months.
Phil Conway, England, creator of a service for disabled children.
Now, what we're giving them is a chance to develop a one-to-one relationship with somebody over a long period of time. We just believe fundamentally that's a profound human gift.
Maria Ana Angeleri, Argentina, promoter of healthy eating habits for children.
This child will go home and say to his mother, "Mommy, Mommy, did you know it's good for me to eat such and such a vegetable because there are vitamins, because it's good for my health?"
Vandana Gopi Kumar, India, creator of an assistance program for the mentally ill.
The focus really is not to live in an institution, but to go back to your families, wherever you hail from, and live independent lives.
Gerard Kohler, Austria, creator of risk management workshops.
Each year, we only teach 10 trainers because risk-flecting needs strong roots like trees.
Michaela Nachtraub, Germany, creator of an online translation platform for the hearing impaired.
My dream is that one day the hard of hearing will be able to have their mobile interpreters with them at all times and anywhere in the world.
Josh Nesbitt, United States, creator of medical follow-up software.
We need to get these tools out to as many people as possible. They are pulling much harder than we are pushing. So it's time to scale.
Right. This gives us an overview of the actions that you support, and it looks like it's a little bit scattered all over the place. It goes in all directions. Arnaud, can you tell us how you actually select the associations, the projects? Tell me if I'm wrong, because it seems that you select associations or individuals who've come up with good ideas, and you suggest that Boehringer gives them money to help them. But how do you select that? What are your criteria? Well, yes, you're right, it goes in all directions, but that's on purpose, because when we started thinking about this partnership, we thought that what had to be the essence of this partnership was innovation, bottom-up innovation. So we had to provide Boehringer with a new way of looking at innovation in the health business. You know, usually in pharmaceutical industry, it's top-down. You're looking for a molecule, you protect them with a patent for 20 years, you try to make this massive investment profitable, and we suggested them a different approach. Innovation in health, not only in the drug business, because we said to Boehringer, these social entrepreneurs have things to tell you, have things to show you, have things to share with you, and maybe among these innovations there are some initiatives that might become potential business for you for tomorrow. So we have a partnership based on 3 directions. First of all, innovation sourcing. That is, they support 50 such social entrepreneurs. We wanted to have a very broad scope in order to have as many innovations as possible in many different areas. We also launched 2 online competitions, which generated about 100 projects. So we now have a bank, a data bank of projects in which we can involve Boehringer employees, because the second part was that the Boehringer employees had to be involved, not only in the form of spending 1 day per year that would be paid for by their employer, etc., but it had to be much more structured, much better organized. And we wanted to make sure that the skills of the people matched the project that they were involved in. And we even have a program for the very high potentials of the company, tomorrow's leaders, who leave for a certain number of weeks or months in total immersion with social entrepreneurs. So it's different from what they've done before, and it opens them onto what health in other parts of the world is like. And then the third part of this partnership is that some of these initiatives can actually be accelerated, boosted by BI. So this program used to be a CSR program, but now it's becoming much more strategic, and it is opening new perspectives for Boehringer in terms of business. Oh, so it is very both ways then. Yes, absolutely. It sounds wonderful. But Guillaume, I'm asking you the question, have the objectives been reached? Will they be? Can you tell us of a few examples that would demonstrate that it's working? Well, yes, it's working. Yes, yes. The objectives have been reached. Arnaud talked about 50 social entrepreneurs. Well, it was not rational, but we thought 50 after 3 years would be nice. And 50 social entrepreneurs, you know, it's a global project. And you've seen Jordi Marti, for those of you who are here this morning, you've also seen Samir, who's involved in telemedicine. We have Frank Hoffman in Germany, who screens breast cancers with blind women, because, you know, the blind women have a touch and feel that seeing women don't have. So you've got all those social entrepreneurs, and it's now operating in 32 countries. So from Japan to Greenland, the north of Canada, we have a social entrepreneur who's an Inuit, and he gets the Inuits to dance hip-hop, because these people are depressed and suicidal, and so he has done this, and it's a very positive project. So the first thing is that 50 social entrepreneurs. The second point is 32 countries, covering most of the planet. Third point is that 3,700 employees are involved in those projects. Well, usually it's hard to tell if it's good or not good, because we have 40,000 employees at Boehringer. But there's this number that we matchmakers like to give. It is that if you've got 10% of the employees who are involved in a partnership, it's pretty good, and it's a positive sign, because even if the other 90% are not involved, still they are proud to belong, and the people might say, I'm part of that company that's doing good, and I'm not involved in those projects because I'm doing something else, but I'm happy to see that my company as a whole is involved. Let me give you some examples. I like it because the examples are so varied. In France, you've got a team of people who works with Guillaume Babs, a social entrepreneur, on a good fruit juice. So they're working with HR, they're working on the fight against diabetes, they're working with finance and marketing. So it's a multi-disciplinary skill of people who are not used to working together, who are working together. In the US, you've seen in the video Jordi Marti, who does those low-cost blood tests. So we are in constant contact with the US via Skype to work on the strategy. So this is also something that worked quite well. And then in China, to give you another example, we have a Chinese BI that helps social entrepreneurs, especially Frank Hoffman, who's screening breast cancers. And so BI actually helps him get a foothold in China. So these are very encouraging results. And you know, it's only 2.5 years, 3 years since the program was started. Arnaud was talking about immersion. We now have 10 Boehringer employees, top executives, one in Argentina, one in India, who are part of this development program for high potentials. As Arnaud said, it's not an MBA, but it's spending 6 months with a social entrepreneur. You know, if it's an Indian based in the US, there was this Indian guy based in the US in IT who went to spend 6 months in a social enterprise in India. And you know, sometimes when you're in IT, you're too much focused on your screen. You don't see the rest of the world. And on top of that, he was focused on health. And so he came back and he said, I did good. I helped the social entrepreneur. I helped him get a $2 million subsidy, and I have broadened my horizon. Now I can see health and I can see my computer in the broader picture. And this is also one of the objectives of this partnership. And also, as we said, it's a wonderful lab for innovation. So this was really the idea. We wanted to cover the world. We wanted to support and help 50 social entrepreneurs, and it's a wonderful laboratory for innovation. And we have 3,700 people involved in those. Okay, Arnaud, back to you. A few years ago, when Ashoka started working in France, basically what you did was helping social entrepreneurs to grow, right? And at the time, you were not going to work with major companies, because actually we had the impression that it was those social entrepreneurs, you know, like Bill Gates in his garage, who were going to become social multinational companies. So it seems that you've changed your model here. So don't you think you're going to lose your initial values in the process? And do you have other partnerships in the pipeline? because Mrs. Rose Veil was actually calling for partnerships. So how do you select your partners? No, I don't think we've changed our model really. We haven't given up our soul or anything. At the beginning, we wanted the concept of social enterprises to be recognized, and so we focused only and solely on these people who launched these very innovative projects, and we made sure that social enterprises would be recognized as they are today. Of course, there is still a long way to go, but I can say that we've more or less made it. If you take Ashoka out, social enterprises will still grow. So it means that we've done our job. Now, the next thing that we need to do is to write the next page of social entrepreneurship. And as I said this morning, it's so big today that we need to find the strength where it is. Otherwise, we will never be able to solve the problems. And you can see that a social entrepreneur who has an innovation, as Anne was describing, who knows the final needs of the local populations, is in the best position to explain to a company what its business in the future will be. And I'm sure that it can help them grow models that will reach to more people than each would do individually. So co-creation, alliances between regular businesses and social enterprises is a key challenge, and it is necessary. Of course, there will be a lot of discussions going from ethics to practice, but I'm sure it's a very good discussion to have, and we need to move into that new era, and this is why Ashoka has decided, probably for the next 30 years, to push for that, and to make sure that it will be common practice in 30 years from now. And on the other side, on the side of the major companies, Boehringer, does it now want to strike more partnerships with other social enterprises? First question. Second question, do you see a lot of companies who want to do that? Well,
un focus quand même important parce que ça fait quand même 2 ans et demi, 3 ans qu'on est sur ce partenariat.
Mais bien sûr, l'idée c'est de ne pas garder toutes ces innovations 2.5 to 3 years. But the idea is that we don't want to keep these innovations to ourselves. We want to open up the partnership. We want to move on to other partners.
De la façon dont on va avancer.
Depending on things will go. And then I really think it's the future. This type of partnerships, of course I'm stating the obvious. When the game changes so quickly, when the state coffers are empty, when you see the crisis, well, I think that putting together two partners who are very complementary but so different. Boehringer is business innovation and Ashoka is social innovation, so bringing them together can only bring the positive for the common good, I would say, for both parties, for the company, for the social aspect, for the social enterprise, for innovation. So, and I think that more and more this is what we're going to do, getting different people to work together for the common good. We heard about Sanofi before, and we asked him about patents. Now, a pharmaceutical company which has to find new business models, as we said, peut-être de vendre à moindre prix des médicaments dans les pays pauvres et en même temps ce désir de cheaper drugs in poor countries. Maybe they want to be involved in social enterprise. Do you think a group like Boehringer can afford to do it all? Or what are the choices? Well, maybe they can't afford to do it all. But what we've seen is that for the moment, it's a partnership with Ashoka. And there is something in this partnership which is very difficult for companies to understand. It is that we have no clue where we're going. So putting money in a project where you don't know where you're going, well, that's tough for the companies. So now, after after 3 years, we kind of start to see where we're going. But it's a partnership where we are learning by doing, because we see that there are very interesting things which had been overlooked so far, and so it would be interesting if maybe we would go there instead of here. So every time we talk to Ashoka and to Boehringer, these meetings are so fresh. I mean, this is not something that you have in regular business meetings, because nothing is standardized. Of course, you try to have a basic framework, but that's why maybe in 3 years from now we will come back to you with something that we had not even imagined today, that is going to totally revolutionize the pharma business while helping the poor. So we can think that everything is open, and now we are going to have a more specific course to follow. Thank you very much for these beautiful examples of positive actions.